Do you have your snacks and drinks ready? Because we have another Crusader Siege battle. Now this one isn't in the Crusader expansion, it's the vanilla, but the players, they kind of set up the scenario to be Christians versus Muslims or Crusaders versus Jihadists. So it's going to be awesome. We have the Papal States, Milan, and Venice attacking this southern European fortress, and defending it we have the Turks, the Moors, and the Egyptians. So let's just go ahead, dive right into this intense gory battle. We'll start with the rules here. There's no guns, max 1 artillery for defenders, max 2 for attackers. The money, we have 40k for the attackers and 29k for the defenders. Now let's go ahead and check out the attackers, their army comp, starting with the Papal States commanded by Paladin Bob. He's got a good mix of heavy infantry, he's got the broken lances, he's got the feudal knights, he's got a lot of crossbows, which is going to be very important in a siege battle, and he has a mortar, which is going to help him clear out those choke points. Helping the Papal States attack, we have Milan commanded by Spida 32. Just like the Papal States, he's bringing a lot of heavy infantry, broken lances, feudal knights. He's got some men-at-arms too, which is really interesting. He's got 2 culverines and 4 Genoese crossbowmen. A crazy amount of crossbows. It's really going to help him in this battle. Now looking at the final attacking force, we have the Venetians commanded by Sweet. And he's got a nice infantry corps. I really like his infantry. He's got the standard, of course. He's bringing a mortar and a culverin just like his Papal States allies. And he's got 3 Pavis crossbowmen. Now let's go ahead and check out the defenders. We have Egypt commanded by Lost in Nepal. He's got a nice force here. He's not bringing any cav or artillery. He's just focusing on pretty solid infantry like the Tabaderia, Hashashim. He's bringing the max number of Nafatoons. He's got some Javis, the Kurdish Javis, and he's got 3 units of desert archers. Next up, we're going to check out the Turks here, commanded by Longbow. He's got 1 bodyguard, he's got 2 units of Scipii Lancers, and 4 Hashashim. So he's not bringing a lot of infantry, but he's got a lot of archers. 4 units of Janissary archers, the max number of Nafatoons, 2, and 1 unit of peasant archers. And finally, we have the final force, the Moors, commanded by Hardbong. He's got the best infantry. He's got 4 units of Christian Guard dismounted. He's got 3 units of Hashashim. He's got some tribesmen and 1 unit of Arab Cav. His infantry really needs to pull through here. He's also got a couple skirmishers that are going to help out in the skirmishing fight. So this battle starts off just like any other battle. Classic bombardment phase, Paladin Bob pushing up some siege equipment with his peasants, and it's pretty obvious at this point that the defenders are bluffing right now. And if you don't know what bluffing means, it means that they're holding their position. It looks like they're going to defend the outer walls, but they're really not going to defend it. So Paladin Bob, being a very experienced player, he's going to go ahead and be aggressive. He knows that as soon as he charges in units into the wall, they are going to retreat. They're not going to hold their position. So he's charging in 1 of his general's bodyguard. And remember guys, the general is not in this unit, so it's not that big of a deal if he loses this unit. So he's charging in. He's going to try to get a decent charge off on the retreating defenders. There we go. We got a little bit of a fight, but that was not that great of a charge. And he's going to go ahead and try to escape from this position because Egypt is sending another unit of tribesmen. So they're trying to close the jaw on the Cav, but he's able to escape. And here we go. The defenders are falling back to the 2nd layer wall. We have the other general's bodyguard joining this crazy charge crusade, and he gets a very good charge off on the retreating tribesmen. And he's going to go ahead and retreat out of there. That was a good charge. And then we got the other general's bodyguard chasing them down because they are breaking from the fight. So that was a very successful cav charge. And it's really cool to see them use their cav aggressively because usually you see that with the defenders. There they go, running them down. Okay, so after a little while, they get in a little sticky situation. They chase them down a little too far. And now the retreating defenders are closing in on all sides. Paladin Bob doing the best he can to try to escape from this position. He goes and charges in his infantry. He's retreating this early period general's bodyguard, but the late period general, he is trapped. He has to fight his way out. There they go. The tribesmen are just surrounding them all over the place. They are completely surrounded and getting cut down. Look at that. The other general's bodyguard charging in, trying to help, but there's just no help. They're fighting to the death. and that unit is evaporated. And also, this unit breaks from the fight, the other general's bodyguard. But check this out, Milan now sending in his cav to try to get a charge off here. Let's see if he can pull off a decent charge. Oh no, not really. That was a weak charge, and they're fighting off some spearmen. That's not going to be a good fight for them. That's a fight they're surely going to lose. And sure enough, the mailed knights break from the fight. Now, after a while, the unit returns to the battle. He's going to go ahead and get another charge off. There we go. And that time it's a good charge. So he's trying to redeem himself here. And he's going to go ahead and retreat back and try to do another charge. So he's doing some cycle charges here. Let's see if he can pull it off. He's getting hit from archers up from the wall. Let's see, guys. Is he going to get a good charge? Ooh, it doesn't look like it. His pathfinding is all kinds of messed up. And the spearmen turn around and finally get rid of this cav unit. So they're going to break from the battle. And that's the last that we are going to see from the knights. So at this point, the Papal States are charging in their army, getting ready for the bombardment phase. Really no issue there. And also the Venetians are charging in, taking the walls with no contest. He's not going to lose any casualties, or he's not going to have any casualties, because nobody is defending the outer walls, and they can just take it with ease. And that's going to go ahead and start the bombardment phase, guys. So that was just a little summary of the beginning of the battle. I'm going to start it back up once the bombardment phase is over. So currently, the Papal States are setting up their crossbows here, and they are getting chased down by the Sudanese tribesmen. I think this is a really good idea from the Moors to send a very weak unit, but strong enough to destroy crossbows. Send them out and try to take them out, because, you know, if you lose the Sudanese tribesmen, it's not a big deal because they're not that great. So I think that was a pretty good decision. Look at that, they break already. And look at this, the Papal States are charging in. I think they're trying to get the defenders off guard here. Paladin Bob going in with his broken lances. Shouldn't have any difficulty against these Sudanese tribesmen. But there's some Tabudaria here, ready to hold this choke point. And here they go. The battle has officially begun. Infantry versus infantry. Right at this very important choke point. Looks like he's setting up some pike militia as well. He's got a lot of reserves waiting nearby. He's got some feudal knights that I think are going back behind the wall here. But the battle is really picking up here, right at this choke point. Also, we have Venice over here setting up some infantry. Maybe he's going to prepare to strike. I'm actually a little bit surprised here that they're being so aggressive so early, because there's a lot more choke points that you could take out here. So I don't know if this is the best decision by Paladin Bob to kind of attack before his teammates help out. It's always a best decision to attack all at the same time, so you can kind of overwhelm the defenders. But this battle over here is a pretty close battle. I think Paladin Bob, he was going for more of a element of surprise. Maybe he was trying to get the defenders off guard, trying to, you know, just get them out of position. And oh, we have the Nafatoons throwing their pots. We got the Sudanese javelin men throwing their javies. Oh man, that is not good. Yeah, that's not a good sight, because the Nafatoons, they are king at killing choke points. And then we've got the archers up on the gate, firing down at the Papal States here, the broken lances. And broken lances, they don't have the greatest morale. They will break from all this firepower. Let's get another view here. Come on, another volley, fire arrows. They take a while to shoot. There we go. Oh, getting some good kills there. Nafatoons about to throw another wave of pots. There they go. Ooh. Oh, good shooting there. And then now the Venetians, they're just kind of waiting for more choke points to open. I don't necessarily agree on this positioning of Venice. His troops are very, I don't know, like they could get attacked very easily because there's not a lot of supporting units nearby. So if the defenders are smart, they could charge out and try to take out these units that are all by themselves. I mean, the nearest units are behind this building, which are pretty far away. So you might be able to have an opportunity to kill the infantry nearby here. But it looks like the Papal States, they are breaking from the fight. Yep, Both broken lances. I mean, they're just broken lances, but that's a pretty big win for the defenders. And we've got the Great Cross being pushed into position. Try to give the men extra morale. And let's see what Venice... Oh, look at this. Look at this, guys. We do have the defenders charging out, attacking the broken lances. Got the Hashashim coming out, ready to party. They're going to party with the broken lances. What about this? The units over here. Let's see. Yep, Egypt is charging out. They're going to take on the broken lances. This is not good because Tabaduria, they have a pretty good charge bonus. So they're really losing a lot here, the broken lances. So we've got a battle outside the walls. Sally forth, men. Sally forth. I think this is a really good decision here by the defenders. Taking advantage of how open and unprotected the broken lances are. Oh my god, Tabaduria doing work. Oh, and look at this. We got the Sunnis tribesmen flanking out from the gate, and they're going to get a nice little hammer and anvil. They're going to flank around the Venetians here. And just like that, broken lances, they're just not as disciplined as feudal knights. They are breaking, but we do have some mailed knights joining the fight, but it's a little too late. A little damn too late. Now they have to fight off the Tabaduria, and Cav is not very good at killing axemen in a melee fight. The battles over here still going pretty strong for both sides, pretty even. Though it says defeat is defeat is a certainty for the broken lances. So the Tabaduria over here, it says defeat is well, actually it's going all over the place. The balance of forces are now even. And here comes another wave of feudal knights. Venice going in by himself. Now if we head back over here, looks like the Papal States, they're still trying to break in here. Got their broken lances. I think this is the same unit that broke. They're just sending them in again. So who knows how long they're going to sit in this choke point and fight. I can't imagine long. Oh, and the mortar hit. The mortar hit, killing a bunch of dismounted Sipahi lancers. Good use of that mortar. You know, he's sending in cheap units to kind of group up the defenders so he can use his mortar to strike them down. Look at this. This unit is breaking. But let's go back to this fight because this one's pretty interesting. It looks like Venice is sending in more broken lances. Wow, he's full on committing here. And oh man, the broken lances, they just can't handle the Hashashim and they lose that fight against them. And now we have the mailed knights coming over to support his infantry to try to slow down the Hashashim. Is it gonna be enough? Will Venice hold their ground or will they surely break? We will find out soon. Oh, and the artillery going off. And look at this, a chain rout. Even from the feudal knights, it's just too much. The Nafatuns breaking their morale. And I think this was a huge win for the defenders, being able to take out some attackers nearby. It completely got the attackers off guard. At least it got Venice off guard. I'm sure he was feeling pretty safe near these walls, thinking that defenders will just kind of sit back and be passive. But no, that was some aggressive play by the attackers. Fantastic use of aggression. And they broke those units pretty quickly, and they killed a lot of them. That's a huge loss for Venice. And over here, the Papal States still trying to fight. Looks like he's got his pike militia now engaged in this choke point. Pike militia, and we've got the Great Cross nearby, but where is the crew? Does he have the crew? Is the crew dead? I hope not. That crew is important. That Great Cross you want to keep alive is... Oh, no. Here's the Great Cross crew right here. Just kind of waiting. Just protecting the crew from archer fire. There we go. The pikes are in formation now. And the crossbows are getting in position. Oh, and they're taking heavy hits from the Nafatuns. Look at this. Pike militia fighting to the death. That's a rare sight. It's down to one man and stabbed in the back. Rest in peace, Pike militia. Rest in peace. Okay, so after a very long phase of just archers firing over this wall and trying to get as many kills in this choke point, we have the Papal States charging in. Looks like he's charging in his Pavi's crossbows. We've got the Great Cross crew charging in, which is really risky because you don't want to lose this Great Cross crew. They will fight to the death, but you want them to continue to push up that Great Cross because that's going to give you extra morale in this very tough fight. The fight of choke points where morale is so important. But here we go, Papal States charging in, and he's going in alone once again. Venice is not charging in at this point. Papal States, they really need some support here because this might be the final push here for this this fortress. Let's see if the Papal States will go all in. I mean, he still has a lot of reserves over here, but his army's pretty banged up. The Papal States, they've seen a lot of action. They've killed a lot of enemies, but, you know, over time, their army is really decreased, really thinning out. So he needs the support at this point. Let's see if the Venetians are going to answer the call. No, the Venetians still just standing there. We've got Milan pushing forward some troops, though. So Milan not necessarily in position yet to support, but he's getting there. But this choke point over here, this is just going to continue. Look at this. They're just taking a beating here. The Papal States got the archers up on the gate. You got the Tabarderia, the Hashashim, the Nafatuns holding back the shiny knights of the Papal States. And I'm pretty sure these Muslim soldiers here for Egypt and yeah, I think mostly Egypt is defending this choke point. I'm sure they're happy to kill these troops from the Papal States. Now we've got the Swiss Guard coming into action here. There's one unit of Swiss Guard. So they're trying to grind their way through with pure muscle, pure brute force, but finally we have the Venetians charging in here. It looks like the defenders are not well prepared for this assault. I don't think they see it coming. Oh no. Yeah, they don't really have a good defense around the choke points, but let's see if the defenders can kind of turn this around and send more reinforcements over here to hold this position. Because if they can break through right here, then they can easily just flank around and kill the Nafatuns and kill all the defenders holding this choke point. And look at this, the Papal States pushing up the Great Cross. Oh man, right into the enemy defenses, right into their lines. Yes, the Great Cross. Eat it. Eat it. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love it. Look how far he's pushing it in. That's amazing. He's just going behind enemy lines. And look at this. The Venetians. Oh, they broke. That was a really good opportunity for them to break through and kill those Nafatuns. But the Nafatuns are engaged in melee. That is not a good sign. Oh no. Someone's mortar breaks the Great Cross. What was that? Oh, some friendly fire killing his allies' Great Cross. Oh man, and now we have Milan in the fight as well. We've got both standards nearby to give their troops extra morale. They need to desperately break through these choke points if they want to take the second layer of defense. We've got the Christian Guard from the Moors holding their own against these feudal knights, and this is a battle that they are going to win. The feudal knights for the Venetians, they need help, they need the support, but hopefully these feudal knights can buy enough time to where the attackers can break through here. Milan doing the best he can. These broken, or no, these are men at arms. They're gonna have a tough time against these Hashashim. The Hashashim will eat them up. And this is why the Hashashim are pretty good in siege battles, because in small choke points like this, they can get a lot of kills. And here we go, male knights charging in. He's just trying to break through with brute force. And Milan making some great progress here. Look at the death and carnage going on. Milan taking a lot of casualties, but he is pushing forward. And this is a good sight if you're rooting for the attackers. And more breaking here by the desert archers. Got the Nafatuns like point blank throwing in some pots here. Let's see if they can continue to rack up a bunch of kills. I mean, this is ideal for them because it's just wide open. It's hard to miss. But we do have some dismounted men-at-arms that are going to walk to the nav. Look at them just kind of taking their time. Yeah, we'll get to them in a minute. Here we go. Okay, finally. Oh, that guy just took a Nafatoon to the face. And now we've got a great push from the attackers, just trying to force their way through. And the defenders, obviously, they focus more of their army on skirmishers. And they really need to buy time for their skirmishers to get off a lot of volleys. Look at this. This is wonderful. Look at all the... Oh, man. The Hashishim, they're surrounded, but they're fighting to the bitter end. It still says victory is certain. Okay, now it's changing. No, victory is certain. Balance of forces are evenly matched. Hashishim, just badasses on the battlefield, doing a great job. Then we got some Christian Guard waiting in reserve, holding the line, buying time for their archers. Uh-oh. God, the attackers are just full-on pushing through. Are they going to have anything to hold them back? Okay, so we do have some reinforcements here. The Lancers over here. And the Christian Guard still holding their own. Christian Guard is just so good at fighting. They're an ideal unit in siege battle. Christian Guards and Conquistadors. And then we've got the crossbows back here firing down at the attacking armies, which is a pretty easy target because look how clumped up the attackers are. The Italian states. Man, they're taking a lot of losses, a lot of casualties here. They're doing all they can to try to save as many lives as they can from the archer fire. Well, let's get back to this fight here. The Christian, their backs are to the wall. Literally, their backs are to the wall, and they're a little surrounded here. Defeat seems certain for these Christian Guard. They're a bit out of place. Oh, but they broke the dismounted men-at-arms, and then we have more Hashishim charging into the fight. Look at this, causing some major breakage. The Christian Guard are like, huzzah! Reinforcements at last. Got the little wagon here, right in the middle of the fight. And look at this, the Christian Guard are pushing forward. Wow. This is when you know you've got a great unit here, when they can hold a choke point and push them back. I mean, they're going to lose eventually just because of the vast numbers of the attackers. But damn, they're putting up a good fight. And their flank is exposed, so that's why you should never leave the walls like that. And so we're going to have the General's Bodyguard. He's going to be able to flank around. Yep. So they're going to be surrounded and cut down. Poor Christian Guard. Look, here's the General. He wants to get his sword wet. There we go. The Christian Guard getting cut down. The Turks are holding this flank right here. Again, buying more time for the archers to get some volleys off. He has some archers up here. Looks like they're out of ammo, possibly, because they have their swords out. Their little daggers. But it seems like the defenders, they've got like just a handful of troops keeping back the infantry. I mean, look at this Christian Guard. Defeat seems certain, but they're going to continue to fight on because they know they must buy time for their skirmishers to get a bunch of kills. And that's what's happening right now. They are just buying time, getting a bunch of kills. Look at the Kurdish Javis here, just doing a great job. Same with the Sudanese Javelin men who have some armor upgrades here. Look at that. Oh my god, it is just raining Javis down on the attackers. And the Christian Guard are pushing forward. Oh my god. And we've got some major breaking by the Venetian heavy infantry. Now we have some reinforcements from Milan charging in his broken lances. And we got the General charging in. So he's going to be able to flank around these Lancers here, break the defenses, and continue to push and take out these archers. But we do have some Hashishim waiting in reserve to protect the archers. Oh, here we go. Charge from the Feudal Knights. So this flank over here is crumbling a little bit on the defending side. Gotta be careful of those stakes here. The cav. But now we have the Javis kind of fighting in melee. We've got some Arab, dismounted Arab cav breaking from the fight. Oh, and the mortar hit, killing mostly mostly the broken lances from Milan, so that's not a good sight. You don't want to see your troops breaking like that, especially from friendly fire. And now we have some peasant crossbows fully engaging the feudal knights over here. And here comes the Hashishim. Finally, they're going to hold this choke point. And they're Hashishim. They're going to hold it for a while. I mean, there's still a lot of Venetian forces. And what do we got here? Got some pike militia getting in position. Got another line of Hashishim. Let's go ahead and get a bird's eye view of this battle. Look at this massive chain route. Wow. From the one charge from the Hashishim, all the troops here breaking from the fight. That is such a tough sight to see, especially if you're rooting for the attackers. My God, that is such a good break right there. That's what you want to see when you're defending. But if we kind of look over what they've got left for reserves, we've got a couple feudal knights back here from the Papal States. The Papal States looking really rough at this point. Milan still has a lot of reserves over here. A lot of men-at-arms, a lot of feudal knights. But really, at this point of the battle, everyone is pretty banged up. Everyone is pretty chewed up. Their armies are weak. And these Hashishim, they're going to tear up these pike militia. They're just no match, especially when their pikes are not out. And then we've got the Turks. They've got their Janissary archers over at this flank, firing down at the defenders. Or the attackers, excuse me. The attackers, they've got no answer. They just need to commit more infantry over to the side. They need to silence those archers. Look at that volley right there. That was insane. And the fighting continues on over here. Finally, the pike militia, they get their pikes out. They're going to go ahead and do stabby, stabby. Push, push, stabby, stabby. Try to break through these Hashishim. And here's the general from Egypt. He's in the Hashishim unit. We got some Venetian heavy infantry back into the fight. Oh, here we go. Papal State's making a brilliant push over here. This is a very smart decision because he needs to break through. He needs to silence the archers over here. So all he has to do is break through the Hashishim, and that is not an easy task. That is not easy at all. Oh, but look at this. Now the Janissary archers are charging in here. Maybe they ran out of ammo. Maybe he's just trying to scare off the Papal States with vast numbers. But it's not working. The Papal States, they're holding their ground. And so far, the balance of forces are evenly matched. We got the Venetian general over here, the general's bodyguard, getting into the action. We got some broken lances joining the fight as well. This is just a huge clumping of forces. What's going on here? Is this a tactical retreat? It looks like it. They are not breaking. They're just doing a good old tactical retreat. Was that Nafatoons that I saw over here? No, I thought I saw some Nafatoon action. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it. But this fight over here is very interesting because the Moors in Egypt, they're holding back the attackers with just like one unit of Hashishim. And oh my God, this is such an ideal position for the skirmishers. Just up on this little ridge, getting a bunch of kills, just chewing up the attackers as they just sit there and they're just waiting to be called in from the general to charge into the choke point. And the Venetian general, I don't know where he is. Where is that general? Did he die? I believe not. Oh man, Papal State's just desperately trying to kill these Hashishim. It's just not... It's a tough task. It really is. Oh, sorry guys, the wall getting in the way. But yeah, the broken lances, it says victory is a distinct possibility. So this is in favor of the Christians, the attackers here. We do have some crossbows over here getting some kills. The Hashishim, all they're doing right now is just buying time for the archers to just rack up a bunch of kills. And if we kind of just glance over all the attacking forces, you'll see just fire arrows, bolts come from the sky and just get a bunch of kills. Look at that. Oh man, they're just taking some heavy losses. And they're just doing the best they can, but they're just having a tough time breaking through these Hashishim. Now we've got some Jabbies into the mix. It looks like they're more concerned on this position right here. Oh, the Moors are now sending in the Christian Guard. The Moors, they realize that the Hashashim are breaking. They're thinning out, so they need to send reinforcements. And I bet the defenders are or the attackers are so frustrated at this point because they were so close on killing these archers back here. Oh, look at them. Just getting a bunch of kills. Oh, the wall come crashing down. Look at that. Looks like the attackers are trying to bring down this wall. Not that it's really going to do anything for them. But these Christian Guard, they're going to hold for a very, very long time. And look at this. The defenders are making some progress over here. There goes that wall. Again, that's not really going to do anything for them. But, you know, it's always good to have more openings no matter what. But here we go. We've got some Arab Cav joining back in the fight. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised. I would have sent more troops in this choke point when I'm attacking, because you could probably overwhelm these Hashashim and just kind of flank around, get behind them. Also, get the crossbows and whatnot by surprise. I mean, but what infantry do they have? I mean, at this point, it seems like they just mostly have archers. And the same thing goes to the defenders. It just seems like they have mostly just archers. If we look at the back here, he's got Janissary archers just waiting in reserve. We've got 2 units of Nafatoons. We do have the General's Bodyguard, which is pretty good. We've got a healthy unit of Hashashim. So the defenders, they still have quite a bit. And the same thing goes to the attackers. But it's going to come down to archers, I believe. It's a handful of archers battling it out. And okay, so the peasant crossbows, I think they're gonna break, or not break, but do a tactical retreat. Okay, so they're, oh no, there goes the Egyptian general. So that's gonna be a huge help for the attackers trying to break through these choke points. Maybe they'll lose some morale over here. This is where the general died. We do have the Nafatoons from the Turks now getting engaged here, trying to get some kills while they still can in this position. And we've got some peasant crossbows joining the fight. Oh jeez. Oh, getting a couple kills on the Nafatoons. Here we go, more troops joining this fighting over here. And the Christian Guard, they are still winning. God, the Christian Guard are just so good. They're so good at fighting infantry, so good at holding choke points. It seems like they didn't even lose a single unit so far. They've lost like 10 or 20, but not unit, but like troop in the unit. Oh, look at this poor guy. This poor broken lance. See if he can put up a good fight. No, doesn't look like it. Okay, so now we've got some leftover Sudanese tribesmen joining the fight. Just, it seems like the defenders are just throwing whatever they got at the attackers, the Muslim forces here. The Hashashim doing a great job. I mean, it seems like they've been fighting forever, and they're still fairly healthy. Here comes more Sudanese tribesmen. And this is just an epic brawl for this choke point. I love how the standard is just right in the mix of this fight. Just giving that extra morale to the Milanese troops. Oh, we do have some breaking here from the Culverine. He's got his artillery crew in there. I don't know how I feel about that. You shouldn't send in weaker units to fight, because they will break easily and cause fear around the other troops who are fighting, even elite troops. So that's going to be a tough position to take. We do have more reinforcements from Milan charging in here. Just, oh, it looks like the Christian Guard, they broke the forces that were originally fighting them. But we have a whole nother wave of attackers. I mean, God, these Christian Guard, they're like the savior of this whole siege battle so far. Just doing a great job. Hold your ground, Christian Guard. And it looks like the attackers, the Christian forces here, making some headway. They're breaking through the defenses. Now they're going after the Javies now, and oh, the Javies are breaking. Look at this, they're charging through the little pathways here, and they're non-stop. They're gonna full-on engage these guys. Looks like we got some Hashashim. We're waiting in reserve. We've got some Scipii Lancers, and we have some peasant crossbows who are now fighting in melee. I'm sure they ran out of ammo. Oh man. Look, I mean, just look at the bird's eye view of this battle. This is insane. Like, oh man, look at all the dead bodies. It's ridiculous. All the different colors from the factions. It's fantastic. But finally, the Christian Guard are breaking here. They're fighting to the death. There's one left. Go figure. They would fight to the death. Oh, and he's cut down by Pavis. Oh. Good kill there. And then we've got another unit of Hashashim fighting off this. It's just never ending over here. They just cannot break through this choke point. Hashashim doing work. Oh man. That is fantastic. And here we go. We've got some volleys from the Genoese crossbowmen. And it looks like Milan is kind of giving up on this position to take it quickly. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know if he's going to kind of sit back and use his archers to try to weaken the defenses or what. But oh my, is this break? Is there? Oh my God, Milan is breaking. The broken lances is breaking them from the fight. These Hashashim, they will kill anyone. They don't care who you are, where they are. They will kill you. That's what's happening right here, especially in siege battles where it's really hard to flank around with Hashashim. And that's really, honestly, the biggest problem with Hashashim in like pitched battles is that they're easy to flank around because the unit size is so small, and you can usually just beat them that way just by, you know, causing fear and flanking. But in a siege, like street battle like this, they will hold for the longest time. Okay, oh, look at this. We do have a charge of some units over here. Just a small pocket of fighting. And they're doing a pretty good job. These feudal knights are cutting down these Pavis crossbows. I mean, which makes sense. They're Pavis crossbows. They're not very good. Oh, but then they have to fight these Hashashim. They're not going to last long against these Hashashim. Just an elite assassin force. And more Hashashim from the Moors are joining the fight over in this choke point. They just cannot take this choke point. The attackers, the Christian forces, they've done everything that they could. They just cannot take it. I would say put archers up on the walls here, but they can't do that. All the walls are destroyed. So the fighting is just going to continue on over here. I mean, eventually the defenders are going to run out of troops, right? I mean, it just seems like these Hashashim are just unstoppable. What are the Christian forces? What are they going to do here? I don't know. I don't know. They're just going to continue to push. They're going to continue to grind down the Hashashim. But that's still a big issue. And then over here, it seems like the battling is kind of... Well, actually, I was going to say it's dying down. But these Milanese feudal knights, they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, they are fighting like lancers, which are pretty easy to kill for feudal knights. But the Hashashim over here, this is going to be a bigger issue. Oh man, that is lovely. That was awesome. And it looks like in the background here we have more reinforcements. Oh, and there goes the general from the Moors. The Moorish general. We've got some feudal knights waiting in reserve. A good healthy number of, healthy unit of 40 over there. So this might be enough to break through. Since the general died here, maybe we'll see some headway for the for the attackers. Maybe they can finally break through. This has got to be frustrating. I mean, I'm frustrated watching this. Just seeing all the attackers, you know, seeing them push their units wave after wave, and they just cannot break this position here. It's really ridiculous. It's crazy. And then Milan charging in his Feudal Knights. Gonna take care of these Hashashim. Yeah, I don't know how I necessarily feel about how he's sending units one at a time up this way. I think if they just send everybody right now, they could overwhelm the defenders. But here comes a charge from the general's bodyguard. I think he's just trying to break these men here. Yeah, they're not. The Feudal Knights are not going to be able to break through against these Hashashim. They need to send more. They have to send more. And here comes the Papal States charging in his general. So now the general is engaged, and this is pretty big. If the attackers can, oh, and Milan's general, check that out. So both generals fighting in this area. So if the defenders can kill their generals, it's good game. Like, they cannot do anything about it. But look at this. Finally we have some breaking here. But it looks like it's from some Sudanese tribesmen. The Hashashim are still alive. The Moorish Hashashim, they're charging into the Genoese crossbowmen. Wow. Just ridiculous. And the Turks, the Turkish Hashashim are still alive. That is crazy. That is insane. You just can't kill them. You cannot kill them. And Milan just doing the final push here, doing the best he can to break through the lines. And then we've got the reinforcement force of Janissary archers firing down fire arrows. He's using fire arrows because he's trying to break the enemy. Let's see if he's going to be able to do that. Oh, that guy just took an arrow to the head. Oh, I love how they just ignite on fire when they die. It's just like, oh, just instantly flames everywhere. So this is what Milan is down to, and I think this is pretty much all the heavy infantry for the Christian forces. Oh no! The Nafatoon's breaking a healthy unit of Feudal Knights, and they're, oh my god, they are retreating from this fight. They are falling back. Alright guys, so in this part, the battle starts to simmer down. We still have the Hashashim just going wild. Look at it. They're chasing down everyone. Nothing can kill this unit. Finally, we have a flanking fire there from the Genoese. That finally causes them to break. But yeah, Milan's going to do this tactical retreat, and he's going to push up the archers. So let's just go ahead and fast forward it to that point. Okay, so this is where Milan sets up his archers, and it's just been a big old skirmish between these two forces because most of them are out of heavy infantry. So it's a battle of archers. It's down to such few troops, and pretty soon the Turks are going to do a full-on charge here, and don't worry, we will be sure to watch that part. But as you can tell, I mean, this is just a brutal skirmish. Both sides trying to conserve their ammo, trying to use all the resources they can to weaken the other force, basically. So Milan is just trying to destroy their defenses with his Genoese crossbows, which are pretty good at doing that. But here we go. This is right where the Turks charge into battle. They're trying to take him out. They're going to try their best to kill as many as they can. And Milan is now charging in his heavy infantry. And look at this. The general's bodyguard taking a bunch of casualties from his own stakes, and that, my friends, is why stakes can be so dangerous, even if they're your own stakes. And that's why I don't even like place them down if I have the chance. But Milan should just stay in this fight. He should just continue to bring the pressure to the general. If he can kill this general, that's going to be a huge help in his advance here. And then we've got the general fighting all by himself. Oh, he does have a trusted companion here, helping him fight off the Janissary archers. Oh, he died. He's dead. Here comes another charge. Dismounted Feudal Knights doing the best they can. And they're causing a huge rout here. Just gotta keep pushing. Keep pushing. But no, he calls off the attack. He's gonna fall back here. and he's going to continue his strategy of using archers and trying to weaken the defenses. I think he could have won right there if he just continued to push his infantry in, but that decision may haunt him, or it may help him. But let's just go back and watch the archers do their thing. Oh, wait, the general dead. What happened here? This is something I never understood. I like, why did Paladin Bob, why did he charge in his general like that? Oh, right in the open. I guess he assumed that Milan was going to continue to commit his forces. But the Papal States, they're pretty much gone. And let's just take a second. Look at this battlefield, guys. This is carnage. Insane. I cannot wait for Warhammer. I've got a good feeling that the siege battles are going to be very similar, where we get to see dwarves and orcs. It's going to be fantastic. We do have a little pocket of fighting here with the Hashashim, and we've got some Janissary archers teaming up, trying to kill the feudal knights. So this is a small pocket of fighting. We're just going to fast forward a little bit, guys, because I know this is not the most exciting thing to watch, and I think they're going to win this. The feudal knights are having a tough time here. And then we got the general's bodyguard charging in. Yep. Yeah, they're crushed. And just keep note of the general's bodyguard. Watch where he goes. I don't know where he's going. Where are you going, good sir? Is he chasing after someone? I don't know, but he's just keep your eye out for the general's bodyguard. We're going to continue to fast forward this because they're going to continue to use his archers. Okay, so here's the final push of the defenders. They're going to do the best they can here. The general over here just killing feudal knights. If you look over here, he killed a feudal knight unit, and now the defenders are just going to full on charge and get rid of these Milanese troops. This is it for the attackers. If they can kill them, they will win the battle. Look at what they've got left. I mean, look at all the dead archers that died from the epic skirmish between the Genoese crossbows and the Janissary archers. Look at this fight. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's coming down to such few numbers. And we have the charge. The great charge of the general's bodyguard. Let's see here. Oh, we got some troops breaking. Dismounted, or the crossbows breaking. Here we go. The general's charging in. And, oh, the general for Milan is still alive. But how long will he live? I don't know. Oh, he's getting surrounded by Cav now. That's not a good sign for Milan. We got troops breaking. Dismounted broken. Lances breaking. And now the feudal knights are surrounded. They are surrounded. And it's down to just a handful of troops. In this kind of battle, nobody really wins here. Oh, and he doesn't die. He just breaks. And that's the battle, guys. That's it. It's over. The Islamic faction, the Muslim forces are victorious today. But at what cost? At what cost? All right, anyways. The end results here. We've got lost in Nepal. So he sent in the battle replay. So thank you for the battle replay. He got 773 kills. Everybody did well. Like, look at the kills here. Everybody carried their weight. It just wasn't enough for the attacker. It was so close, but it just wasn't enough. Longbow getting 724. Hard Bong getting 731. Defenders, Spida 32, 627. Paladin Bob 665. And Sweet getting 652. If we look at the end results here, let's see. 120 kills from his... Wow. You usually don't see this because Nafatoons, most of the time, they don't get a lot of kills. They just break a lot of enemies. 121 kills, that's pretty good. His Hashashim here, look at this. 98 kills. The rest of his Hashashim not really doing so great, but that one unit doing pretty well. And that's his results there, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this battle. It was action-packed. It was just a big old fight, and it came down pretty much to archers, which it's not necessarily the most exciting thing, but, you know, it's important that you use your archers wisely. So it was a little bit of a long skirmish there at the end. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.